Hello, everybody. This is Pete from PA Labs, and I want to do a video for newbie types coming into PureBasic who have never done a form or have problems with forms or just want to get started and see how other people do forms and how do you handle the various gadgets? How do you handle an image? How do you handle an image gadget? Buttons, text fields, editors. This. So I've put a bunch of things on this form. This is half stolen, half invented from another project. We're going to call this Planets. That's the name of our form here. And a planet has a name. It's got a short description, which is an editor box. Now, I'm not going to turn that into an RTF because that's probably 2 or 3 lectures unto itself. This we're just going to use as a straight text box, just a big field. I want to make sure that, let's come down here and make sure that we have word wrap turned on. So let's see, that's pretty much all I need for him. I've set all the fonts to be Rockwell with the exception of the spinner. Spinners, as a rule, to make them kind of stand out, I always give them a font that's 2 sizes bigger. So the world here is in 12 point, so my spinner's in 14, and that just kind of makes the number stand out. It also gives you the ability to, these little itty bitty up and down things get a little bit bigger. Okay, so we have the editor control set to just word wrap automatically for us. We don't need to mess with that. So we have a population in billions. We're going to have an atmosphere of a combo box, and I didn't name him, which is kind of a taboo for me. Mosphere. Okay, so I have my own code. Yeah, everybody has their own coding standards. One of my pet peeve coding standards is that if something is going to be used in code, then therefore it should have a name that identifies it. So if I was going to do something to this label, I would make sure he's got an appropriate title on him, and that's an old one. So I would make sure that he's got a title that identifies him. So this is the text field atmosphere. That's the text field. Goodness gracious. Oh, you know what? I have this on an old school version setting. TXT. Okay. So we're going to have a text field population. This guy's name is edit for editor and description. Now, these names, where they come from, this is a part of this editor over here. You can choose short names and long names somewhere up in here. Here it is. Use short name for controls. That's where he's putting in the short name of edit versus editor or text field or text control or that kind of thing. Combo, he'll use combo instead of combo box. So I default to that. Another default that I always use is I come down here to the code options. I like my gadgets to begin with gadget. That way it tells me what the heck I'm messing with. I also want a prefix, the form name, the gadget, that's this short name here that you're seeing over there, and then the name, okay? So we would get, for combo box atmosphere, this would be pound gadget. My form name, let's jump and select the form, is FRM planet. Atmosphere. Oh, I don't want it that big. We're not doing just atmosphere here anymore. Let's go ahead and call you planet. So we would then have gadget FRM planet, and then combo that tells me what the field is, and then I would get uh, atmosphere. Okay, so that way, just his name identifies what he is and what his function is. Everybody has their own standards. If you work professionally, most organizations that I ever worked for had their own current standards. And you have to adhere to that if you're writing code for a business. Many companies use the Microsoft standard. So again, you'll come up with your own, what fits you, what suits you. This is mine. I also personally write camel case. That's where every letter is uppercase versus snake case. I know PureBasic is designed to do snake case, but I've got 40 years of writing camel case behind me, so uh, I write camel case. I can't stop it. Even when I write with a pen, it's camel case. So here's my screen. We have an image, we have a combo, we have a checkbox, an editor gadget, and we have a spinner and a text field, and we got several buttons. So we'll load an image and we'll clear an image. And ideally, you would take all of this and save it to the database. But for this set of videos, there'll probably be two out of this. I am not going to do that. I am just going to do the GUI side of things. So um, what we're going to do is I'm not going to start with class builder or anything like that. I'm going to take the code straight out of ICE design, and we will go ahead and hit save, and let's generate the code, and that's going to pop up, and we're going to put it here, and that's going to be awesome. We're not going to run the consolidation piece. There we go. So now we have our planet atmosphere. Why did you give us? Oh, probably because that's what I called him. Okay, so let's go ahead and save this. Save as. I have a project that I've already created, and we are. Oh, you are nowhere near where I am. Okay, so I have this in main drive development. uh, PureBasic, that's where all of my code lives. And this is called GUI project or demo. Yeah, there we go. And we're going to go ahead and let's just call this planet, right? That's what we want to call it. Okay, so now we have planet. Now, I think it's outside scope to go too much into the project and stuff. Uh, that's kind of outside scope for what we're doing. I'll show you this. We're going to add this to the project. So now we have a colored tab up top that tells us that. And when we select project over here, he's going to take our project folder and he's going to list all of our code that we have. Now let's look through what we have designed here. Chris builds a nice setup. He intends you to cut and paste it and use it where you want. What we're going to do is convert it into an executable running program. So we'll go ahead and combine all the enumerations. Let's go ahead, enable explicit. That's a word you can use or choose to not use. Enable explicit means everything you use in your code has to be defined. So it verifies that if you accidentally typo a variable, let's come down here and say define George equals 4. And then down here, I want to say George, oops, I'm messing up, ORGE equals 54. When I run this, he's going to get all bent out of shape because George, oh, hold on. This is a project. to run a project, we have to come up here to the project and identify to him what is our executable code. So this is the code that's going to start it all, and we're going to call this project exe. Now, there's lots of options you can do in here. Some of the ones that I always tell it to optimize code, always make sure you're thread safe. Um, those are the biggies. So now let's go ahead and run our code. And sure enough, George is not defined. This is being caused because of enable explicit. So I recommend that you always turn that on. You never know when your dyslexia is going to kick in and you'll reverse two characters, and then all of a sudden you've got two different variables and what you intended isn't going to happen. So always a good thing to use enable explicit. It's kind of a pain in the butt at times, but yes, it is a good thing. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and lump all the enumerations together. Then the code's going to come down here. It's good to note that PureBasic is just like C and all the others. There is what's called a thread of execution. And a thread of execution, actually, let's go ahead and point it out. So if I come in here and hit F9, so now the code is going to stop on execution. So this little line is going to, oh, what are we getting up to? Jelly buttons. Yep. All right. I have to go include a script. Hold on. I'll be right back. I don't have that readily available.